Doom is going to be the character you see the absolute most and you will have most matchup experience against. So we'll break this down very detailed. So first, what does Doom want to do? If he's ever in the game, he won't be on point for 3 characters. If he is, he's supported with like broken assists like Vadra or Jam Session or something like that. So he's I would say he's always trying to play around the assists when he's trying to aggress you, going for high-low mix-ups and these tri-dash grabs. Otherwise, he's trying to zone you with photons, plasma beams, rocks, and then foot dives on the lower levels, even on the higher levels too. Some people just go for foot dive. So how do you beat all this? First off, foot dive. Gustav Fire beats it, but you don't really want to contest that, right? You really want to just hold back and then punish him. Just block the foot dive because he has to now cancel it into a dash or a super in order to be safe, or fly, right? He needs to cancel it to be safe. They might dash, fly around a little bit, and then foot dive. Now they can't move. So you need to pay attention to his air dash. So if he air dashes, he can't dash out of it. So this is when you want to hold back and then just counter him as he's falling. You get a full punish on him. So besides that, Plasma Beam. This is the most basic beam in the game. Very standard. Easy counter. Easy Gustav. Easy heavy. Heavy into drill counter. Or even like full screen if you don't feel comfortable drilling. You can just shoot a gun and it'll counter him. So go for those. Nullify that. Photons. These are the most annoying for Tron to deal with. She can luckily cancel like the first 2. The one that's in front of her and slightly over her, which is really good. So she cancel that. And then air photons. Let's do this. So let's say the Doom flies and he's just spamming, right? Okay. He's just spamming. What you can do is air S them. Because if you feel confident that you could hit him, not from full screen, because you can try, you could heavy and then, like, it's not going to work. But if you're closer, like you get 2 wave dashes in, you can actually jump into him and block, get rid of the photons. And as he's coming down, either block the foot dive, get a Gustav out, or maybe do a counterattack of your own. If you're close enough and he made the mistake of trying to fly, then you get the free air S because your air S will counter the beginning of his photon shots. Jumps, boom. Right? And I wasn't even that close. I'm like this far, just wave dash. Right? She has really, really good anti-fly tech. So that's one way to deal with it. Another way to deal with it, let's say if you have a Mori Gene, like Tron Mori Gene, you don't want to approach. These counter photons perfectly. So let's do another one. Right, that's the more traditional way. Okay, counter. I'm getting hit. Yikes! I timed it wrong. Right? I'm not getting hit on any of these because these are just absolutely destroying the photons. So I'm shooting the medium ones and then the heavy, and it just completely protects me. I don't need to worry about anything. The timing was as soon as he shoots it, it travels for like about a second. I'm start shooting the medium and the heavy ones. And even when he's trying to approach you, let's say he's trying to tri-dash on you, if you don't want a Gustav, you can also shoot those. It stops like tri-dash approaches too if you want to get him off you. Another one is Buttergun. This is really annoying. A lot of Dooms are going to want to Buttergun. But you can Gustav the gun and him. Let's start that over. This is your absolute go-to. Always do this. Because Dooms always want to shoot Buttergun to get in because it's a really good tool. But you can get Gustav out faster than he can Buttergun. Do this all the time. What else does he have? If he does this super, just let it rock. Just block it. It doesn't do much in neutral. in terms of like damage. It just kind of clears the screen and puts you at a reset. So once you're reset, you're fine to just play like he's probably going to use Plasma Beam. You're fine to just go back into the counter game. Molecular Shield. Let's see how that works. Pretty sure Gustav hits it, but maybe there's a rock on the bottom. Yeah. So there's a rock on the bottom that stays of Gustav. Heavy beats that. Heavy beats it again. The rocks are RNG, by the way. So, yeah. So Heavy just beats Molecular Shield straight up. So if he ever like Molecular Shields, just counter. You could also just Heavy through it, like while it's building up. Rock versus rock. Wow, my rocks are better. Tron better than Doom 2023. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, air S, you could jump right over it, or rather I'm super jumping, so super jump air /S, that works too. Spear Flame, you know, not really too threatening. Even if he does hit you with a random super, just remember, like, you're Tron, you can take the damage. You top 3 health in the game, so you know you could take a beating. You have many chances to try to fight this. I'll say that's about it. Oh yeah, obviously hidden missiles, right? This is something that you don't want to deal with. You can't counter it. You could try to H, right? You might take out a missile, but it's really, really hard to counter. Instead of trying to counter it, I suggest you go ahead and super jump in the air and take them. This way your assist resets in the air and you also get your dash back. I called 2 disruptors before I landed because of this tech. This is the tech you want to utilize against him. Take the missiles on purpose and then use your assist against him. And now all of a sudden you're in his face and now he's scared. Right? He's gonna start panicking. He's like, I gotta jump, foot dive. And then that's when you're like, oh, okay, Gustav, thank you. Free. Right? That's kind of like the game you want to play if he starts doing that. Let's talk a little bit about assists. All 3 of Doom's assists are really good in this game. Probably the best in the game. So, boom, that's the recording. So first Plasma Beam, we already talked about how to nullify that. It doesn't change. If anything, it becomes easier when he's an assist, because you can look at the top right A2 button. You see that it stops glowing when he calls it out. That's kind of like how you can tell, and you kind of see a shadow be under Strider. You kind of see the shadow. So the second you see the shadow or you see the thing stop glowing, you kind of see both from the corner of your eye. Kind of like you're looking at a mini map in League of Legends. You see out of the corner of your eye, boom, you just activate Gustav. That's kind of what I do. Now when it comes to his other assists, right? Missiles, same thing. Take it in the air and then use your assist as you're coming down, as your approach. And now you have a gateway in. For what? How much damage does hidden missiles do if all of them hit you? Right? Like, what is that? And that's if all of them hit you. When he does that, a lot of times, sometimes you only get hit by 1 missile, and that's all you need. That's your goal, honestly. Try to just get hit with 1 missile, if possible. Forward foot dive can be canceled. It's the same thing as standing foot dive. If anything, it's easier to Gustav it. It's no threat, because if he forwards foot dives, he just bounces away. So it's not really. You could air medium too. You could air to air that. It's not as scary as regular foot dive. So sometimes it'll Hail Mary foot dive. It's free Gustav. You're hoping they do that. You want them to do this. Tron luckily has a weird body against him, so if he tries to grab you, he can't really confirm off the grab too well. Right? He has to switch it up. The foot dive misses, and I also went vertical too. He has to switch it up in order to confirm his grab off you, so that's good. So don't be afraid if he's pressuring you and he hits you with these, you know. I really had to delay that. I really had to adjust my combo just to get that. So her weird body plays a favor. Look at that. I'm not even I didn't even lose 30% of my health. It's crazy. It's crazy how much he has to do in order to do the same thing. A regular B&B does more than what all of that he just did. And I guess it was because of a grab too. So Got to factor that in. So yeah, overall, just to recap, these are really good against Doom. It really frustrates him if he's trying to go in. And then when he's trying to zone, you cancel out his zone and counterattack. And when he super jumps, you want to either shoot your gun. You can use these to stop his plasma beams or photon rays. Wave dash, jump S works too. Or just wait for him to come down and just counter the foot dive. Counter the foot dive by blocking it. If you feel really confident, you could Gustav. And that's how you beat Doom. Tron wins this matchup pretty easily, in my opinion.